I believe that life is sacred, that human beings are good, and that we can serve life a whole lot better than we currently are.
I'm a white, heterosexual, cisgender, middle-class, college-educated, able-bodied man. I know. I mean, if it weren't for the fact that my family history includes immigration, divorce, and mental illness, I'd probably be a huge asshole. But I know I'm a good person, and I often wonder why. Where do empathy and compassion come from? My guess is that the first ingredient is suffering, but that's not enough. All of us have suffered, but not all of us are not assholes.
My name is Nauser Bear. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist and a spiritual activism coach. Deep down, we all want to make a difference in this world, but we've grown up in a culture that doesn't support that. 2020 was a wake-up call for many of us about how unsustainable this way of life really is. To heed the call, we need to get a whole lot better at changing our own lives. New Year's resolutions aren't going to cut it. We need to be able to recognize and accept the mess that our species has made of this world. We need to be able to feel our feelings without losing hope. We need to be able to talk to our families about our values without rupturing our relationships. We need to understand the connection between everyday tasks and big picture goals. And we need the ability to reflect on our progress honestly and without shame. Coaching and therapy are indispensable sources of support in this process. As your therapist, I'm not going to let you blame yourself or remain stuck in shame for the complicity that we all share for being born into a racist, imperialist, and patriarchal society. But I'm also not going to let you throw up your hands and say it's out of my control, so I might as well not pay attention to it. We're all capable of much more than we know, and the voices in our heads that tell us that we can't change the world are just as much a part of the system of oppression as mass incarceration and the electoral college.
Many people are surprised when they hear that I'm half Iranian because they looked at me. But the truth is, though, that despite being fair-skinned, never having learned my father's language, and being largely sheltered from my Iranian family for the second half of my childhood, I've always felt like an outsider in mainstream white American culture. I speak Spanish. Most of my close male friends are people of color, immigrants, or first-generation Americans. I have empathy. But I can't chalk all that up to having a father from another country. I mean, I was born blind in my left eye, which, as we all know, already makes me only half as racist as most white people.
I'm white, but my dad was a brown-skinned immigrant from Iran, so I can relate to people from many different backgrounds. I'm a heterosexual cisgender male, but I was raised by a mother who divorced all 3 of her husbands, requiring me to put in years of personal work to figure out what masculinity means to me. So I know how complicated of a thing gender identity can be.
The subsequent legal battle and feud between my mom and my dad and his brothers left me with a sour taste in my mouth for masculinity in general. Nowadays, when confronted with a confident masculine man, I'm at once envious, repulsed, and intimidated. And indignant. What gives him the right to walk around with his head held high? Didn't he get the memo that a man's life is supposed to be one long apology for existing?
But true sustainable change is not possible without compassion and a little humor. Compassion recognizes that our basic goodness can coexist with dysfunctional behaviors. We blame ourselves for not taking proper care of ourselves or the world, but our parents and society never modeled that for us. Compassion helps us to accept ourselves as we are, so that we can make the changes that our souls are yearning for. The people who work with me are highly sensitive and feel the world's pain like it's their pain. They want to make a difference, but they don't quite know how or where to start. Maybe they feel guilty for the privilege that they carry. Maybe they suffer from low self-esteem or depression or anxiety or codependency. The good news that I share with my clients is that their pain is there for a reason, and it's not the reason that they think. It's there to show them the way to their higher self and their calling in this world, I help my clients identify and move past their limiting beliefs about themselves and the world, and I help them develop more adaptive responses to their symptoms so that they can grow into who they alone can become, and help them stay connected to their deeper purpose to ensure that they stick it out through the rough waters. If you're ready to let go of everything that's holding you back from being the change that the world needs, schedule a consult call with me. Send me an email, call me. Take the first step on this journey with me. We've got this.